So you better be beating people, otherwise it's a little awkward.
Yeah, my knee was feeling better, and I woke up, the day after, and suddenly it wasn't feeling better, and I realized, wait a minute, I did play air hockey for like 2.5 hours. All right, so yeah, that was my whole after party. It was great fun. I really enjoyed it. We are going to be heading into this game here. It's on cash, and it's a best of, the second part of a best of 2, I guess. How would you phrase this?
It's...
Help me out.
No, I'm going to leave you with that one, because
right.
I avoid it.
All right. Let's call it the best of 1 game on cash here between Mouse and Envy. And last one was on Inferno, and it ended in Mouse's favor in overtime, which was a bit nuts. It does say game 2 out of 2, so we'll call them best of 2s. Best of 2s really upset me, but it's 2 best of 1s, what our producer is saying.
Yeah, but he doesn't really clarify that in the...
But then it does say game 2 out of 2.
Matt, I think you need to work on that. Hashtag producer Matt. He likes it when I call him out on air. But we're into the game. And the one thing... Okay, there's 2 things I like about both of these teams. One, that Christian still does the same boost towards the vents with the USPS. He'll break the vent as they run past, quick play in towards the boost, with Dennis now popped up. And it's a great thing in theory, assuming Envy don't 5-stack out towards A, which they've done. So, retake time anyway for Mousesports. Bomb is planted. And Envy just powering through.
Yeah, I think they just got pretty massively out-called here. Now they're going to go for the full retake, which is, in theory, definitely possible. The problem is there's still a guy lurking in middle, and that's Happy back there somewhere. So it's going to be really dangerous for them. And Devil to pick up the first kill here. Envy off to a very good start. Devil, and one more shot coming through. And that's the end of the round. Apex with a quick double kill to finish it. It's a solid round from Envy. They obviously maybe they could not necessarily have known, but it is kind of a Mousesports go-to anyway. So
yeah, definitely is. It's a player characteristic, I guess. Chris J was one of the people that I saw first doing that. I wouldn't say he was like the first person ever, but to be using it that regularly was something that he'd certainly do a lot. And I doubt he's going to do it this time. He doesn't have the USPS, so it kind of defeats the point. But Envy as well, this is one of my favorite maps to watch them on. The way they used to play towards a B site when they knew they were against just pistols, the mollies would clear out the corners. Something that Sean Garris would go on about consistently because he knew this was a very similar plan for them they'd like to do. It seems like they've done it again. So this is kind of the standard almost here. They'll do on the gun rounds, especially against people with just pistols. However, it's a little lacking here because actually they're losing out on players. They should be able to pull it back in, but Apex gets caught through the smoke and Nico does the damage with the Deagle, leading to the 4v3. Don't let these rounds happen again, Envy.
Yeah, not again. We cannot handle it. Next to pick up a shot there, Speedy from the back line doing a tremendous amount of damage. Devil going to be very low on health. He does get counter boosted out of the vent, so
there's no one on A either.
No, he could run for it here, and Happy picks up the one, goes to the spray, and seems to be spraying almost infinitely. He did strike a nice post at the end there. That was sort of paint me like one of your French girls theme going on. Should get the camera on him if we could do that. Thank you, Rush. Look how great this is.
That's beautiful. That's really nice, yeah.
Even in death, the French, they have some style, don't they? It's going to be all on Devil here, and he does not have a lot of health, and they are all coming for him. Just a train running up highway. He's hiding, and he's got the bomb out in the open, so might be a bit of a chance here. Going to get the first kill in, goes for the second peek. They don't have a kit, so he just has to stay alive and buy time, which he will not be able to do. And I'm wondering if they have time to actually go with the defuse here. I don't think so. Nope, not gonna happen.
Jesus.
Speedy blowing up, and Envy high-fiving and winning the round.
I'd really hope they're not high-fiving after that round. It was, woo. I don't know, yeah. That was just beautiful. I can't wait for the Zeus kind of sound impression, if that's what you're already bringing out. Like, this is some classy impressions. But kind of, I actually quite like that position from Devil, kind of planting for classically A main, I guess, and then playing in the boosted spot by the toxic barrels. So a little bit of a one and done, but it worked out. He bought the time needed. And now again, we're seeing the 3 mollies come out for Envy. I wonder if they could do the B hit again, as they do like doing this. It's a classic thing they've done for quite some time. Happy likes to play mid pretty aggressively. Devil slowly joining over as well, so Happy's going to hold the rotate pretty much, play very aggressively off the back of this. They do still have a rifle on Nico as well, so you've got to be kind of careful as to where he's going to be playing. And he is soloing out on A, so he's got a great deal of information. Just holding down A main, peeking out. He knows they're not here for now. Squeaky could have been an issue, but you assume that's not going to be the factor here. So Envy looking towards B. There's 4 players stacked out again, so there's actually quite a lot to run through at this point.
And Nico's pushing into A main right now, so they've got some very good information about what's not happening on the map, which is any kind of A main aggression from the T side. Happy, though, is sneaking in behind. So this play is sort of countering the play that Nico's making. Should mean that EnVy should come out on top, just because they will have a pretty good backstab going into it, assuming they don't run into too many deagle shots here. Leading the charge, Apex there with the Tech 9 taking one, and Kenny with the follow-up, and Happy still just lurking in the middle, waiting to catch out Nico, which is going to be a success. So pretty well played, I think, here from the EnVy side.
Yeah, Apex, in my eyes, was integral to that. Happy did catch the rotates, which were just as good. They removed the rifle away from Nico. But Apex's molly, one went to the kind of default plant. It pushed the two players further into the site, behind the first box and behind kind of the new box at the back of it. And he was instantly able to check them. It was him and Kenny, I think, picked up the kill on towards the site, but then he followed up towards Dennis as well. So just good stuff from Apex, just smart play, being able to kind of define the lines of the battle that he wanted to take. But we are going to see the buy-up now from Mousesports. Far from ideal at this point. They do have the AWP on ChrisJ, but with no armor. And again, it's not an unknown fact he likes these plays, but this looks like a bit of an aggressive stance towards A very early on here. Nico, again, will be the gatekeeper of this site, so always quite difficult to find your approach, but nothing too surprising about the positions coming out from Happy. A little bit known to be a player who likes to play by squeak. He's pretty prolific at it, especially on these rounds. Gonna just smoke out close, and now they push out towards the forklift. So a good little take here so far. Next, completely blind. MBK just executes him, and he finds Nico as well. Big stuff from MBK, doing the damage pretty much to secure the A side.
How were they allowed to get in that far? I mean, I know the smoke came out of the door, but still, no information at all from Mousesports about what's happening in a round like that. And this retake, again, because EnVy are smart and leaving one guy lurking behind, which this time is NBK all the way back there, also Apex, it's going to be almost impossible to do any kind of a retake. As soon as they showed that they were trying to do that, Apex just walk up behind. Now, it works sort of doubly, because as they're trying to save the rifles, Apex is also going to be here to make sure they can't run too far away. Great round from NBK, but also a bit disappointing that Mousesports sort of left themselves that open.
Yeah, it was kind of like isolated Nico on the site. He was kind of all alone. Next was playing Highway, but maybe Mouse playing more for the retake towards A, the natural presence there, which can become a hindrance when EnVy just kind of do these all-in, big, aggressive pushes coming through with the 3 to 4 players stacking it out. But yeah, as you said, it was a little lackluster from Mousesports, not able to hold that at all. But back into the buy now, Mousesports just going to kind of resupply themselves here. They don't have the perfect purchase, but it'll do at this point. They have the mollies now. So let's see what EnVy do now. They know they're going to be up against a pretty robust side, and it might be the same thing again. You've got the exact same start, excluding the fact that actually Apex is with them this time, so maybe a quick pop flash in. Have to wait and see. They're kind of going anti-flash here, seeing if anyone's going to come out. Apex could always turn it around if needed. But they have 0 map control, excluding this play towards A.
And Mousesports on the other side, I mean, look at this. They're not going to let the same thing happen again. They just had 4 men here, and even if EnVy throws some pretty good grenades, it should still be difficult to make it through. Good trade, Apex taking out Chris after the initial AWP shot. Dennis hiding by the forklift in the corner, letting a couple of people through with Nex up on the railing up there. The bomb will be going down, but it's a default plant. NBK, though, making this round a fantastic one for EnVy, as Dennis will take down Kenny. Looking for a second shot as well. It's going to be successful. NBK down, but still a 1-on-2 here, and Apex to close it out with a nice headshot to kill up Speedy for his triple kill. Even saves the AWP. This is a fantastic start for EnVy, and I don't know what Mousesports are doing at this point.
And individually, EnVy are playing great, all right? So MBK does brilliantly, Apex has a good, impact. All these players starting to play well. But the problem being, in my eyes, then, that some of the smokes weren't on. So Happy was doing the smoke towards the upper catwalk balcony. That missed. He was late coming out as well. Like, some of the pieces weren't in the puzzle, but Mousesports just didn't actually exploit any of those errors. So they could do the all-in push through B, pretty much solo one-man towards A, which is Nico, trying to maybe just outnumber the AWP, overwhelm him, trying to remove that from the game and try and recover it themselves. But EnVy classically love these B plays when they know they're against Nico again. But actually going to be warded off this time. Nico's gone walkabout, so he could catch something here. ChrisJ's found Happy, so that's a rifle back into the hands, and Nico's doing some good damage. This is getting a little bit more worrying. How the hell did they take so long? Finally, Devil takes him down, but that was sloppy as you like. And now Mousesports have 3 players standing, a possibly recoverable rifle now in the hands of Nex. Now it's 3v2.
Yeah, it goes into the Counter-Strike we've been watching for the first 2 games here. I mean, I don't know how they just let Nico stand there and shoot at them for what seemed like minutes even. Speedy and Nex here. They can't really, I mean, they could sort of try for it. If anyone showed themselves really early, if they could make it a 2v1, then they could try and run for it. But without a defuse kit, and they're so far away when the bomb goes down, it's just not worth it. So saving 2 AKs and killing 3 members of Envy, it's not really such a bad result for a round where you only had pistols and scattered armored across the team. I mean, they should be all right with this, but the problem is still they're about to be 6-0 here. So it's sort of a very, very thin silver lining for Mousesports.
Yeah, it really is. It's just, it seems these B hits aren't exactly impossible for Mousesports to do a lot of damage on, or make it quite close on. It's just the power through A. It's been MBK hitting doubles pretty much every time he goes there. It's been the follow back up from players like Apex and coming in for the later kind of kills. It's these sort of plays that make it extremely hard that Mousesports don't seem to have an answer to. And it might be this again. You've got this time Kenny kind of playing over by B, just holding the late push up. But again, if maybe Happy misses the smoke, you could see someone like Nico doing a lot more damage. I think they wanted to do the run boost then, but with the player not quite making it up there that early, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
That's not, is done.
It's not even a difficult jump to make, is it? Come on.
The plans are now ruined.
Yeah, it's making me angry at this point. Standard, Molotov going to go into the corner. Check out, see who's holding, and again, Envy allowed very close to the bomb side here. Finally, there's a bit of a reply from Mousesports, and they do have a stack going on here next. To follow up with that kill, they're rotating onto the site, and the bomb is dropped back here. So this time, CT side finding a bit more luck. Happy will pick up 1 shot, and counter smokes are coming out here. It should be hard for them to win the round on the T side. Playing a 2 versus 4 as Kenny goes down. And BK and Happy going to be the 2 last ones left. And if they had the bomb down, at least they would be able to put some pressure on Mousesports. But all they have to do on the CT side is just wait for a very long time. Some blind shots are being exchanged, and then BK to go down last. So only next dying.
Yeah, Envy doing almost a rinse and repeat of what their previous rounds were, which I guess if it's working, don't change it to a degree. But then Dennis just went, well, if you're going to keep putting players here doing the exact same thing, I'm just going to shoot in the right direction for once. And, well, there you go. There's the double kill coming in. And it's going to put Mouse finally back on a decent buy for a change. Of course, it's kind of, the economy is certainly not stable at this point. They've got a bit of money building up on Spitty, so that's one small benefit to being, 1 round to the good at this point for them. But Envy now slowing things down. Probably going to try and play for some mid presence at this point. They've got 1 smoke in, not 2, so only smoking the left side of mid, I think, or kind of like a middle point here, maybe assuming that no one's going to be playing it. But already, Spitty and Chris J finding out great deals of information. Going to try and put Spitty in this other corner here. And now Devil's going to have the chance to do some real damage, and he does do just that. Chris J gets picked up, but they don't know about Spitty. He can still he can do something massive here. The bomb's actually not been picked up either.
Oh, and they're going to go pick it up just as Speedy makes it around the corner. He lines it up. The bomb is going to get dropped as well. Oh, no. The fact that they got the early kill on Chris almost made that situation worse for them. If they hadn't, probably someone would have gone and checked Toxic, even just to set up a sort of a grenade to get in there. But they thought that was the only man lurking. Now, Speedy will get caught by Happy, who is otherwise meant to be lurking in middle. Still a 2-on-3 here. What a devastating situation for Envy.
Don't know what they can do with this round now. Mousesports not just going to stick it out on the site. They've actually backed away a little. Nico and Dennis now playing on the rotate. Next needs to stay alive. If he gets pressured or brought down a little, it can get a little bit dangerous. Same can be said for actually any of the players of Mousesports. You lose one in these sort of instances, suddenly there's an avenue for Envy to kind of hunker down into. But Happy going to be watching the vents. Exactly where Nico's coming from. And that molly's going to force him out of position. Great play from Mousesports. Pretty much crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and Apex gets caught out in the open. A bit of a hapless peek, then I don't know what he was going for that. You can still do the flash off the top without exposing yourself that much, and Mousesports get the retake. And again, that position from Spitty pretty much changed that round.
He was, I think, he was about to go and stand in that forward in the first corner on the left-hand side there. I hate players who stand in that corner. Everyone, whoever stands there, it's such a useless corner to be standing in.
It's a bit of a one and done, isn't it? Like you get the angle on one, hopefully for someone who isn't checking, but then it's like, well, where can you back to? What are you doing?
It's just almost never worth it. Almost never. You can't even tase anyone. No one's ever going to get close enough. There's almost no upside at all.
I'm a little sad that there's no taser here, if I'm honest. There hasn't been one in this.
It's because Speedy's winning now. If they were ecoing a bit more. All right, Kenny. Calm down.
Kenny's having a great game. That's how you know players are happy.
Either that or a seizure, you know.
If he carried on playing, what a hero. It's like, well, I had this seizure, but guys, don't worry, we need to get these rounds to the T side.
Dedicated, you know.
Kenny, absolutely unreal gamer, just.
It is a nice push coming in here from Dennis. A bit of sort of a shame that he's running so much, because if anyone was close enough, I don't think Happy was, but if someone was on the other side of that wall, that could have maybe given it away.
Yeah.
Happy going to take down Nex, and a bit of a counter grenade coming out from Chris. That's a nice shot, and look at the follow-up here. Speedy charging on through. He almost takes down Kenny with him. Grenade is going to go, I think, a bit too far to catch Kenny, but there's still a 3-on-3. And if Speedy could have got that kill, that would have made it a really good start here. But now it's going to get a little bit tricky still. Dennis looking for the shot on Happy.
So aware as well, but time. He still hits the shot after the jump up. I'd be frustrated if I was Happy, but Kenny turns one of the flashes, gets mildly caught by the second, but it's Nico finding Devil, and sadly for Kenny, it was just an easy person to overcome at that point. And another good retake from Mousesports. Again, this is quite a good site generally for EnVyUs. They generally do pretty well here. They've been playing, quite comfortably on these sort of spots, but the retakes from Mousesports have been pretty much spot on. Now they've finally got a bit of money with them. Now they're starting to get that economy a bit more robust. They're actually doing pretty well at this point.
And Dennis right now in charge of the top frags in the server. So, we've had Speedy on Inferno doing very well. Dennis now. Nico, I mean, I'm not even worried. He's all the time doing well. But the rest of Mousesports seem to be sort of rotating who's the better player. Envy will go for a bit of a crazy buy-in around like this. AK on MBK. Let's see if they can make that work. Nico, go for the early spray down here. Kenny actually does have 2 flashbangs. He could try and
Dennis.
see if he could flash anyone in. He gets flashes. They're trying to make their run through. There's a good little spray. Third coming through as well. He can't get the quad, but he's already done plenty.
Great positioning from Dennis. He read the first round that they got, denying that sort of play for Envy, and then he's adapted further. He was sitting initially by that forklift, then moved himself over, knowing that, well, they're more than likely not going to check this. They haven't been utilizing this. They've been pouring through towards forklift. Maybe I can get away with 2 kills, but he actually comes up with even more. So great reading from Dennis, just individually outplaying the Envy players on this site so far. It was a curious buy-up, but it's not like those Tech 9s don't do well in that sort of range. So again, good stuff. And keeping Mousesports looking fairly competitive in this one at 6-4. 4-6. Maths is really hard, and reading even harder. And nice little throw coming up from Apex then, just to try and move Nex off the position. But Envy going back to what looks more like a default play, just going to try and take their time and see if they can find anything. But Dennis is probably going to go crouching through that smoke if he's brave enough. Oh, flashed in.
Yeah, that's an extremely good pop flash, because he's already halfway in the smoke, so his peak time there is going to be absolutely optimal. Kenny here, and double scope is a bit dangerous, but he can get these flicks in if anyone tries to peek. There's going to be Devil opening up, and he gets the kill on Nico, which anytime you're playing Mousesports and that happens as the first kill, gotta make you feel pretty good.
You've had to turn tail pretty much at this point, going to put themselves towards the B side, but look who's waiting. It's Chris J sitting in the back with the AWP. He's heard the shot ring off, but he didn't expect Kenny to be so ready after such a little bit of time. But now into 3v2, it's down to Kenny, who's burning alive, and Happy, who's a little worse for wear, already been found by Dennis, and Nex cleans up the rest. And again, Mousesports, this B site is not as easy as it initially seemed.
It's really not. I mean, if you're Mousesports running, you've got to be kicking yourself, because these 6 rounds only happened because the 4th round was such a devastating loss to them when MBK sort of roamed into the bomb site and killed 2 of them. Otherwise, they would have had a very good scoreline right now. This could have definitely been something along the lines of an 8-3 scoreline in favor of Mousesports, and Envy would have been nowhere on the map. But they already have a good foundation. They can just continue to build on top of this. So just the sort of the early success of Envy and how they managed to reset the economy of Mousesports, that's really carried them a long way here. And
again, trying out this B site. It's going to be down to Spitty to be the man on the site. Not going to have much luck on that. Apex bounds through, and now Nex finds a couple, but can't do much more damage at this point. Dennis late on the flank this time, and Happy's waiting so patiently for this. Happy is individually playing to kill Dennis, and he gets the kill that time, avenging those last couple of rounds. Going to get himself a rifle if he needs it. And now down to the 3v2. Mouse still have a bit of a shot at this one, but EnVy still in this. Nico finds Kenny, and now Chris J powers towards the side, and Nico finds Happy again! Rinse and repeat. These retakes from Mousesports have been on point, and EnVy had recovered weapons, they had the armor, they had the plant, and Mousesports still do it. And it's rounds like this that I just find so impressive, and Mousesports are no slouches on cash, especially on that B site, when we saw teams like Titan, for example, and a couple of others doing that kind of insane B hit that, Astralis couldn't work out, that, these teams were really struggling with. It was Mousesports who actually outdid them on it. So again, Mousesports having some great form here, and Happy's had enough.
It's just not calling it timeout, but just simply taking a bit of a breather in T-spawn here.
On a full buy, just like, no.
Maybe he's right now on TeamSpeak shouting at Apex for peeking inside that bomb site while he had the bomb and dying, instead of putting it down and just playing the, what was it, 5v3 afterplant instead.
Oh.
So I don't know. That was a bit strange, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I do find that whenever I watch EnVy on LAN as well, Happy has the most ironic name out of all of them.
He does. I mean, even when they're winning, I think that's the beautiful part. He's him with his head in his hands. Good trade coming in there. Kenny following up on Nico. Well worth it from EnVy's point of view.
All right, Happy's back.
Yeah, he's
there we go. He's done enough shouting now. He's like, I hope you learned your lesson, Apex. You've died again. But we'll see how this goes. And Happy going for the smoke towards mid for a second then. The smoke right in the middle, but while this happens, he's so late to the party now that they have no real map control, but it is still a 3v3 because Kenny pretty much gave him a shot at this round. So Devil, MBK, and Happy. And they could choose A right now, which only has Nex playing towards it. He's playing quite passive, bearing in mind he's not quite dug in towards the site. A bit of a curious spot, a little bit dangerous. He doesn't have a safe angle to hide from. Again, going to be punished by MBK coming up highway, who needs to be careful, though he could be outnumbered. But still, Nex finds the shot, and Devil can't quite catch Nex in the heel, so he makes it away. And now this 3v2 is looking harder and harder for EnVy.
Yeah, it's impressive that Nex is still alive. Chris gets tagged down to 50 health here. Oh, shot in the back just as he was catching Happy reloading. It's going to be a bit painful. And the bomb planted well for main. And the thing is, Mouse are going to see this. I think there probably is someone main. They're not going to look for Happy behind this container. That's the big problem. So Devil should actually try and play aggressively here and try and sort of show himself, because they won't expect Happy at all. And it's been revealed already. Happy trying to see if he could follow up on it. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than I would have wanted him to be here. They do have kits and they're going to do the retake. Speedy just opening up. And they'll have enough time for the defuse as well. Mousesports coming back now. What's that? 7 rounds in a row?
Yep.
It's impressive.
It's these retakes. I can't believe it. Every single time they're staying alive with 2, 3 players, if not more. It's actually really impressive to watch. And look at the economy building up. Chris J's been staying alive quite some time. You've got decent money on Speedy as well. So for EnVy, this is frustrating. They're getting the bomb plants. They are getting the players down. They're getting those initial picks. They just can't close out at the moment. And holding off plant situation comes down to things like positioning, coordination, communication, and maybe not peaking as much as these guys have been. EnVy have been trying to take shots here and there and not really winning out on them either. And here we go. So maybe the counter boost in mid could open up the account for EnVy if they're watching this one. It does look like they had a player in the backlines, but that's just Happy lining up the smoke. And Dennis now waiting patiently to try and make his way over. The flashes come through, and actually it's his perfect timing. He spots out 2, takes the time on the first, gets the second, switches up to the AK and looks for more. He's got more players waiting around in A main. That's Apex staying alive, but he's now surrounded and outnumbered. It's down to Happy and MBK to do something here, but Apex has the bomb pretty much. 6 HP, and he's not going to make it out of this one alive. And there we go. Dennis doing everything he can for his side.
Great timing on Dennis. He had that plan in his mind as he saw the first grenades coming in. He thought they're going to throw these grenades and then just run into main, and that's exactly what they did. NBK is here. Happy. They still don't have the bomb, so having the bomb site just doesn't really feel that good, does it? Follow-up Molotov as well on Chris, so they could buy a lot of time here. Ooh, Happy gonna go for it, in fact. 35 seconds, so Molotov in once, follow-up as well. Getting close now. Gonna get the first kill in, but they'll get sprayed down. Just everyone throwing all these grenades back and forth, but NBK to pick up the bomb with 20 seconds. I think if he actually ran straight away when it was about 23 seconds, he could have probably made it.
And now Christian's actually backed off from this as well, which I quite like. He's close enough to be able to support to watch the cross, but it's going to be Spitty to peek out and get the kill in the end. So good aggressive play from Dennis. Just the timing on that. Now they're starting to win the early part of these rounds. It's starting to look even more impossible. And Christian could just drop out anyone he wants at this point. He might as well, but at this point it is the end of the first half coming in. So Envy really, after what was a great dominating start, starts to look pretty sloppy, if I'm honest.
8-6, yeah. We're looking at a scoreline that's about to be exactly like it was in Inferno, 9-6 for the first half here. It could definitely happen. What is the plan? What's the solution if you're on the NV team right now? Trying to go for mass mid-control, which they already have. Mousesports not contesting that too much. Looking up highway, maybe could have called out Nico there. He's been dying a lot in these early rounds, so, you know, seems like Mousesports don't even need him that much. Next is going to be going down. Apex with the opening, Devil with the follow-up. Now it's up to Chris in this B bomb side. They're coming up behind him as well, and he can't do a thing about it. Finally, Envy find the real opening that they were looking for.
Happy. Happy is not having a good day today. If they lose this, I will give away my house. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, sweet Kenny.
Saving it.
Yeah, that was... The scoreline really doesn't represent what sort of game we were having, which is the kind of weird part, but I'm hoping Mousesports are able to bring this through on their T-side. I'm actually not aware of how good their T-side is, if I'm completely honest. Just, you know, it was always their CT side that got my attention. I've never seen them retaking that well before, or playing that well on the retakes, or, you know, the late round, but if they can even get a piece of that transferred over towards their T-side, this is going to be a very dominating scoreline, I can imagine.
Well, we are about to find out as we head into the second half here. I mean, I've got to say, you know, you look at how the rounds were put together here, it really doesn't make any sense, you know. It's Envy winning 6 in a row, then Mousesports casually winning 8 rounds in a row, and letting go of the last one, you know. There's no real rhythm to it. There's just... Nope. It's just a weird game again.
You're not wrong. The one thing I would say, though, is at least... Excuse me while I mess around with my mic. Nico generally goes off on their T-sides. That's the one thing. Like, he is a consistent T-side player, especially on Cash. We do get to see the, I guess, characteristic Deagle coming out from him. Not too surprising. This map does actually lend a lot to the Deagle. It is certainly more than allowing of its use, and especially in a player's hands like his. Everyone else pretty much going for the armor, excluding Spitty, who's going to be the utility player. So, an Envy, 4 stacking out on A. And going very aggressive. Devil and MBK just running in.
They're going to keep running. Instead of defending, they're just attacking now. Chris going to be going down. Makes sense for the rest of Mousesports to just head on over to the B bomb site. But they got to be careful of Happy. They do have a smoke that just goes up there. Happy, blind, clicking through, not connecting with anything just yet. And the bomb... only now making its way onto the site, and a great trade coming through in favor of Mousesports. They're a man up now. And Speedy out here, trying to buy the time. Going for the early peek there, using the grenade to sort of fairly safely make that peek. Pretty smart on his part here, but NBK can't dance around here for too long. He's going to have to get in there and try and help out Happy on the other side. There's still a man down, and this retake is taking so long right now. Happy trying to fight his way through. They don't have a kit currently picked up. They need to be a little bit faster right now on the NV side. MBK picking up 1 kill. Dennis is going to be going down as well. They charge onto the site. It's a quad kill for MBK, and they still don't have the time to win this round. It's heartbreaking.
Oh. Sums it up, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
The things that I actually kind of like pistol rounds like that. They're a cool little curveball to throw. You know, just all right, let's just see if it works. Let's try it out. It's kind of cool seeing the CTs just going super aggressive and just playing through as a team. Kind of weird, but you know, it did come down to such a close call at the end. But MBK playing very well, of course, allowed that to happen. The mouse going straight onto the rifle buy, and this looks very similar from Envy. Are they going to do the play again towards main? Because this time Christian is kind of waiting for it, and so is Nico to a degree. And MBK had the flash ready. And this is something similar to how they play Train as well. They like these kind of all-in plays. They like to go for these pushes on their T side and CT side. They do like to make this presence kind of noted. And maybe this is something they've been working on. Maybe so these are the sort of plays they want into their kind of playbook that they can maybe lend on later. But it does put a lot of pressure on players like Happy to be able to hold these solo sites. And Kenny's found Nico, so that's a great start.
It's going to prompt the pot flash finally, but you're right, it is just practically like a replay of the pistol round here. Happy going to be alone in the bomb site. He does have armor and a pistol, but they're all coming very close right now. NBK looking for the cross here, doing actually significant damage, but Happy can't follow it up. NBK with one more headshot, going for the third. He actually almost kills Chris as well. Spray comes through, and now it's all on Speedy. 1-on-2 right now. The bomb in his possession, and he's going to try and go for just a straight plant here. No faking it out. Could definitely do this. Molotov is going to be a bit too far back. It should just be forcing Apex in. Yeah, he's not going to respect it on the other side. Sneaking close now. They're lined up. Same angle. Oh, Speedy taking down both. It's actually not a bad idea what Apex and Dara are doing. They're making sure that they don't end up fighting them one at a time. But that AK just chewing them up.
Oh man, these rounds are ridiculous. 7-10 now. Mousesports are holding on by a thread. These rounds are ridiculous, and NBK has been making that distance very, very slim. He's been pulling these rounds exceedingly close together, and it's rinse and repeat. Again, though, Envy, 4 players towards A. I guess it's like, well, they won't do it a third time in a row. Well, yes, they will. There's the pop flash coming in next. Is getting overwhelmed now. He does have some support in the backlines. He does the damage himself. That Mac-10 finding 2 already is going to just really pretty much secure the economy coming in for Mousesports as much as they can do, considering how close these rounds have been. They desperately needed to get these plants, get kills with the SMGs, and now they need Dennis to kind of be at the forefront here, but he's pretty far back at the moment with the bomb, and last player relevantly standing to the side was Happy there and gets mopped up by Spiddy. So bomb's going to be planted pretty darn soon, and NBK your last man alive.
Wow.
Wow.
No chill at all on Nico. Just straightening through with the AK.
Nico, no chill.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be sort of a long, annoying battle where they had to go and find him and, you know, wait for the bomb to explode. But Nico saving us from all of that, making the score 7-11, and moving into the 4th round of the second half. And Envy able to pick up rifles once again. And it's, I mean, considering the first half, again, you'd think Envy would be in a bit more of a stable position, but Mousesports are really proving quite tough on their T side.
No, they definitely are. Now, Apex has got a nice angle here. I'm hoping he'll push beyond that. You can see maybe a flash being lined up here. Kenny's probably just going to drop that and allow Apex to take a bit more control. You've got to be careful. There's a balance to be struck. Mouse haven't been playing super aggressive or super quick. I guess you could say maybe next pushes up towards main pretty early. He did that with the Mac-10 before, but, you know, nicely done between Apex and Kenny to not outstay their welcome in those B-halls. You don't want to get picked up early, allow that weakness, especially on the CT side. Then you get overwhelmed and picked apart. So, Happy, Devil, towards A. Mousesports slowly working their way up. They've got the mollies. They might as well clear out these corners, which is exactly what they're doing. Smoke goes in. Flash comes out. Actually, Chris J completely blind. Flashing in Devil there. Again, quite aggressive on the CT side, Envy. Not sitting back, but it's only a 1-for-1 trade out. Yeah,
and they need a rotation to come in. The 2 people in B right now are quite far away. And Happy and NBK, they're going to have a tough time holding against every single member coming through right now. Spray from NBK, not quite connecting. Happy there to follow it up, but he's going to fall. And NBK trying to make it happen, but he was out of bullets as well. Simply didn't have any more in the M4 there. Next to take down Kenny as he tries to rotate in. And Apex, 1 versus 3. Mousesports, they're about to break Envy's economy as well. This is just a very, very tough second half for Envy. They really cannot afford this. They already lost Inferno to Mousesports. It would be a bit of a shock almost if they lost both maps here. Try to see if they can make it work. Apex doing a really good job. Currently with the double kill, but the bomb is right on the edge. He doesn't have a kit though, that's a big problem. Gonna fake it out once. Speedy is already around the container, and he's gonna get that frag. Very nicely done. That'll make it 7-12, favoring Mousesports.
And considering these have been 4 rounds back-to-back, the money's not perfect for Mouse. You can see the drops coming in, just because of how close these rounds have been. How many times it's been these kind of like down to these last couple of players, no matter what Envy are doing. NBK has been playing very well, but it's been Apex as well, having these hit-and-miss rounds. You see Kenny S finding some moments, but none of them have been able to close out on Mousesports. And now it's on the bike. Chris J with that UMP. He's probably going even more aggressive now, maybe looking for these players to pick up. But already a bit of a possible stack in mid. This time, absolutely No poise on this B play. Already Envy going to try and pour themselves out, but this is what I'm talking about. Apex had the shot. He had the drop on them as well, but gets turned on by Spitty. And now 4v2 again, 2 players are low, but what?
Seemed like Apex should have been able to get both those kills, yes, but obviously that wasn't happening. So now NBK, 1 versus 4. I don't even know what the best case scenario from this point on is. Maybe find Speedy or Chris and try and just get a little bit of damage in on that terrorist side economy, but Mousesports seem to be heading for a 13th round. That's exactly what's going to happen here. They're 3 rounds away from 2-0ing Envy tonight, and seemingly with even bigger ease. I mean, obviously it was double OT on Inferno, so it wasn't that easy, but this time they seem to have a lot more control. Envy haven't won a single round yet on their CT side.
Yeah, and Spitty's carved away, working his way up at the moment as well. He's on 16-8. Not top fragging. I believe that's still going to be like Dennis, is it? At the moment? I think so. But still, you know, Spitty's been having a very good series so far. But everyone in Mousesports has been playing well. It's been Nico being actually relatively quiet for once, and it must be quite refreshing for him not to have to do the heavy lifting in this and just sit back, relax. And it actually starts becoming a really big factor if everyone else from Mousesports can start playing well. Imagine just coupling that with Nico, who's been hammered through the door at Squeaky. He's going to have to back away a little bit from that. So a little bit of an advantage for Envy to start with, but it doesn't ever seem to matter at this point. Dennis has already cheated his way out towards mid a little earlier, but did Kenny catch a glimpse? No, I don't think so. Spitty's kind of in the corner, so not able to be seen, but a slow round from Mousesports again this time, so have to wait and see what they bring. And we might see that late round aggression between Devil and MBK, double facing in towards A main. See absolutely nothing, but A's not completely off scot-free. Sure, the bomb's heading towards B for now, but Dennis, Nico, and Nex are all still by mid. They can make something happen out of that.
They bring the bomb that way, and with 50 seconds towards that B bomb site, you've got to imagine then that's where they'll end up. Not too much time to be faking around. They're coming in for the vent as well. Apex in a very dangerous corner. This is sort of an all or nothing, and turns out to be nothing at all. Nico with 1, Dennis with the follow-up. Happy right at the edge. He picks up 1 kill, but now they're all focused on him. The backup is here for Envy. Happy actually decides to go back, and this is a mad play, but somehow it works, only for a second at least, as Chris going to be taken down, but I'm surprised he even made it through. And MBK, I don't know what you could do here. Mousesports, they are really playing a strong game here on the T side of Cash.
Yeah, it's been pretty much outstanding. Nico got absolutely tagged up at the start, down to very little HP. Though, they didn't really find any entries anywhere. They were getting some mid control, but then hitting this B site, they swept aside Apex like it was nothing. Kenny overstepped on site. They punished him, and it's like any small mistake Envy makes, they've been really finding the right way to make it hurt. So credit to Mousesports, even though sure, Envy are making some mistakes, to be able to punish them for it. What sound?
Sound, the only one hearing that sound?
Are you hearing things?
I hope not. It sounded like a seagull in my headset. Am I being trolled? Am I being trolled? If I was going to start hearing voices, I'd hate it for it to be a seagull.
Out of anything you could have heard, a seagull.
To communicate. It is weird, isn't it? Probably was just me. Just forget about that and move on.
I'm never going to move on from that.
It's Ford. Oh! Alright.
Jesus.
It's just one of those games here, it seems. Happy walking right in. Smoke blooms, but Dennis still takes the shot. Kenny going to go for the fight, and he will take it against Nex. And Dennis looking for the follow-up kill. As you realize there's 2 people out here, that's the question. Devil is trying to sneak his way around into T-spawn, where he might be able to find the bomb, actually.
Yeah, Chris J is still not watching this. No one's watching this. It's kind of worrying. There's a definite chance someone could have done this, but Mousesports playing absolutely no care towards it. Now Spitty turns around, but by this point, there's a little bit of damage done. Now they're going to try and speed up towards A, make the most of it while they feel as though they have an advantage here. That's going to be MBK tucked in towards the corner, gets flashed out, gets away from the mollies, but that made a little bit of time and kind of jumps on the turn. Doesn't mean it, but he still does the damage. What is that? He gets 2! Even though he's solo, he's on 2 HP and he still gets 2 kills. And I don't know what these rounds are, Anders, but that in the end was pretty much thanks to MBK.
They do the hard part. They molotov the corner without losing anyone, without exposing themselves. Then they isolate him, and he has a FAMAS, and he's jumping around like a maniac inside the bomb site. It's just supposed to be an easy kill from there on out. Somehow it isn't. Okay, well, 14-8. Still a 6-round gap here. Mousesports are very close, but they're also almost out of money. So, Envy, I mean, we said it on Inferno. This is the exact same situation. They need to play the next 8 rounds more or less flawlessly. And just like on Inferno,
say it
really hasn't been flawless at all. Yeah, I know. Nex is killing Dennis, trying to help us get into overtime here. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready.
Believe?
Yeah, you know.
100%. It's happening.
Can't even. I cannot even.
I just can't. Just can't even. All right.
An interesting boost, yeah.
Okay, so a 2-2 split to these sides. They're leaving mid completely up for grabs.
Oh, Apex don't stand in the corner. Okay, I thought he was standing behind the box. Can stand in that corner, that's fine. Just don't stand behind the box.
I love it when you get mildly tilted by what you're watching. You start, like, arguing with the players like they can hear you. It's just, you hear Seagulls, you start arguing with Apex.
See, what you guys don't realize is I find these people on LAN and I tell them as well. I say, why are you doing this?
They look at you like, Papa Anders, stop judging me.
Oh, Devil caught out. Great rotation from Mousesports here, realizing that the mid control was lacking for Envy. And now MBK going to try and see if he can catch anyone crossing, and he will. Incredible spray. That's actually very hard to control at that range. Next going down, bomb is being planted for default, which is my second, pet hate on this particular map. Especially as they try and do rotate around where they're not going to be able to do all that much. Apex walking right in. Speedy going to get the kill on him. And it never comes into a retake. So it works out just fine. Speedy with a good triple kill. But yeah, that box on B and the default plan on A are my two worst things on this map. For sure.
Anders to be triggered.
Yeah. Again, I get absolutely apoplectic when people put the default plan on A and then put 2 people in main for no reason. Saying, let's make sure none of these people can help in the retake.
I almost understand it when they didn't know where Apex was. I guess there was always the worry in the back of the mind he could be coming main, so if I plant for this, would he be there fast enough? But again, it's reading things that probably won't happen, but still.
I get fully triggered if people do it and then have a Molotov out there and they're like, I'll just put a Molotov when it defuses. Yes, genius, but that doesn't kill him before the defuse is done, so.
Anders, control yourself, because maybe we can start seeing something from Envy. They've at least got the first frag now. Nico's gone down, so that's a big heavy hitter removed, but Devil fancies a go at it. And a little too early on that flash popping as well. It did give Nex the second to line up the shot and deliver it, so now back to a 4v4. Happy fancies his chances now. 1 by 1, Envy just going, well, I'll get aggressive now. Actually, Happy pulls it off. Not too surprising considering he's normally that lurking role. He's normally the player to play those little bit of a cheeky angle, I guess. He's sticking around the back there, so he knows no one's coming squeaky, allowing MBK hopefully to focus in, but no one watching mid allows Dennis to sneak through. This is down to a 3v3. These are really weird rounds again.
Yeah, wow, follow-up from Dennis, and you're right, it is weird, and it doesn't look like so much like a defense as it just looks like a sort of a scattering, littering players all across the map. Nobody really knows what's happening.
Did you just call Envy crap?
I mean, this is certainly not a very strong performance from them. Triple kill for Dennis on the other hand. He's just cleaning up Envy players left and right. Happy alone to try and save this map for the French team, and it doesn't look very likely. Again, we do have to admit we haven't been told that they're sort of experimenting with new positions. Oh, Chris ends it in style for a 16-8 finish in favor of Mousesports, who take both maps against Envy this evening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will allow sort of for a little bit of room for them to experiment with different things, But at the same time, this, I can't even tell you what the plan is, It really feels weird.
T-side, you could see some method to the madness for a while until Mousesports kind of regained control, which was kind of what you expect from a team who's got themselves together almost. You'd think the team who's not trying out new things will probably be better off in the long run. That's okay. But the CT side was so lackluster.
And again, I would say even if what they're really showing us here is that we have no expectations. These are just sort of throwaway games for us that we're obviously playing in the league and we don't want to be relegated, but we're just sort of here doing it. It's still dangerous to let opponents get maps on you. That'll give them confidence, and it will also ruin some confidence. Even if you think, we're not going to take it seriously, you still will be thinking, damn, we just lost 2 to Mousesports. What's happening? I
can imagine it will be very frustrating for a couple of those players, but I do believe it is time for us to say goodbye for now, and it's time to head over to the desk to see what they had to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. Pretty one-sided stuff there in the end. Despite the 6-0 lead,